You are entering the championship rounds. The babysitter stars resigns from the UFC and is the organization's biggest star to blame. Two surprising names have been pegged as new tough coaches, and is CM Punk finally realizing he may be over his head. This is 5-Round MMA. Albert, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. We're flying dual again.
Our other co-host, executive producer Guillermo Cita, is not here to take care of some coaching business. He's a coach, but unlike little WWE news, he's not like Bill DeMont, like bullying the kids.
Hopefully
right?
not.
Hopefully not. Like I said, today's show we're going to talk about a lot of topics, and also look forward to UFC 185, I believe, right? 185, isn't it?
Yeah, we're at 185.
So I want to jump right into it now. Burt Watson retires.
Supposedly.
From the UFC reports surfaced.
If you read the dirt sheets, he was forced out.
Yeah, so he's basically babysitter to the stars. He calls himself, right? He makes sure this is what the scheduled time you're supposed to be here. Babysitter to the stars, basically.
Yeah.
So reports.
If you watched any of UFC Embedded or behind the scenes or when Dana White used to do his video logs, you would always see Burt Watson back there. You hear him. You'll know who he is once he says the catchphrase.
The liaison to the players, right? So reports surfaced about an incident involving Mark Munoz, of all people, a few days after UFC 184. And then again, later on the week, reports surfaced that it was actually a member of Ronda Rousey's entourage and Watson himself getting an altercation. And then when Watson confronted Dana White and the UFC brass about it, that they sided with Ronda Rousey. And that's Watson's feelings. Well, not feelings are hurt, but his pride was hurt. You know, over how many years? Then he quits. But those was reports, rumors going around. What are your thoughts on it?
If it is true, it is pretty sad. Yeah. One, because it was Ronda Rousey's entourage. It wasn't necessarily the fighter itself. Yeah. So if it is true, they should always back up their employees. They don't owe nothing to Ronda Rousey's entourage. Yeah. They owe something to Ronda Rousey, but not necessarily the entourage. So that's kind of upsetting to me. I know if you read the Twitter comments and if you hear anybody speak about Burt Watson in the passing before he was let go or he dismissed, retired. Everybody talked nothing but 100. All I read was 100% positive stuff. I mean, Rashad Evans says, I think I remember seeing an interview. He said the only thing since when he had that long layoff, he said the one thing I miss is hearing Burt Watson's voice say, it's time or whatever. So it's upsetting that if it is true because they don't owe nothing to the entourage.
What kind of maybe a little suspicious about this story was first was Mark Munoz.
Yeah, and Mark Munoz doesn't seem like the type to really blow things out of proportion, especially when you.
Maybe it wasn't juicy enough of a story. So no, it's Ronda Rousey and her entourage. Kind of like maybe piled up the story a little more. And then Burt Watson was making the rounds on the MMA circuit saying that there was an incident, but he didn't specify what it was. So maybe it leads to the Ronda Rousey entourage. Maybe it's not. Who knows? But
yeah, because I'll tell you right now, if it was Mark Munoz, I'm pretty sure Mark Munoz will get cut.
So we shall see. I wonder. Interesting to see if Dana White or Fertitta's even bother to acknowledge it.
Yeah, make a statement or something.
But right now, I don't think they will.
Hey, I'll give this to WWE. They make a statement really fast and. They're not scared to make a statement on stuff that are just rumors, which I give them kudos because, like as all these companies, you always have to wait a month, maybe even like a couple.
I think it is for the W because they are publicly traded too. So.
Yeah, that's true too. They're private. They got no one to report
private
to.
As private can get, right? So next one, NBC is back in the boxing business.
Network. I actually saw the boxing matches. Yes, I did.
The first time that boxing was on network television, like 30 plus years. So I want to is this the right move for NBC, or should they maybe just focus solely on the World Series of Fighting, which they have on the Sports Network? And I think occasionally they'll have a couple World Series of Fighting cards sprinkled into the network. Do you think they're wasting time with boxing, or is this a good move?
No, I actually 100% agree with this move, and I'll tell you why. When you see a product heading down into deep waters, you can do two things. You let that thing sink, or you try to catch it when it's very low. That way you get buy
low, sell high.
Yeah, exactly. It's that type of. I think it was that type of mentality, and I think they saw the writing on the wall. They said boxing is pretty much after this Mayweather, Pacquiao, whatever. It's pretty much going to be done. unless we can scoop up and become now known as the boxing, no, not even the boxing, the combat sport channel, or the sports channel, because they do have NASCAR now too. So I think it was designed that they're going to be known as the sports channel, and they can steal away a lot of thunder from Fox, because Fox is known as the sports channel if you really think about it. Yeah, but it takes a big thing, but I think it was a smart move. I saw the boxing match. The production was awesome. Yeah. The fights were entertaining. I saw nothing but positives. I didn't see one negative other than the fact that you only saw two bouts. But keep in mind that in boxing you go 12 rounds, so it's kind of lengthy. So this is a good move? I think good or bad for World Series of Fighting? It's bad in a way that now they don't have the full concentration, but it's good because the more, because you get all the fans into it, and then maybe they can have a setup where World Series of Fighting and boxing me, and maybe can overlap the fans.
I like that. So the next one, the new tough Latin American coaches were announced. But much surprise, Kevin Gastelum and Efrain Escandero were pegged as coaching a group of lightweights and welterweights against each other. They will not fight.
Yeah. It's going to be like one of them old school.
Yeah, so are you surprised by these two guys? Because obviously Kevin Gastelum is super talented, but he's having trouble making weight. Kind of Dana White's doghouse. As of right now, he's banned from the welterweight division. And also, Efrain Escandero has been cut from the UFC, 3 or 4 times already now?
Yeah, he's been bouncing back and forth.
So, but both are former tough winners. So are you surprised by this now? Or are the benefit of the doubt because the only two guys probably speak Spanish?
I honestly thought that when I heard it, I was like, whoa, that's a pretty bold move. Yeah. So I do think it's a bold move, but then again, like you said, I think, Kevin Gastelum, I don't think his Spanish is up to par. Yeah. So that's kind of weird. I know Efrain Escandero, his Spanish is on par, but I think they were trying to go the younger route and maybe the story more because these guys are tough winners.
Yeah, but what about like Eric Perez? When they want to build him up, or is he maybe not credible enough maybe to be a tough coach?
I think he would have been the tough coach if he would have continued that good spree he had. But he kind of hit a couple of bump roads, and maybe they're not too into cashing them in so early.
I was kind of surprised that they were war.
Yeah, I was surprised that's who they ended up picking, but they're two good fighters, and there is a story there. Yeah. So I guess
it will air on UFC Fight Pass, but we'll air live on I think stations in Mexico and Latin America. So we shall see. So CM Punk, the best in the world, quote unquote, took part in a glorified sparring session over at Rufus Sport, complete with a small crowd and everything. Punk took on an amateur fighter, and according to the head coach Duke Rufus, if the fight was being scored, Punk would have lost. Yeah. But that there was potential there. So my question is to you is, should we make a big deal out of this, and are we overreacting to anything CM Punk right now?
I think we're overreacting. Some fighter tweeted out like, "Oh, congratulations! You do something that we do almost every other day." Yeah. Which is true. I mean, if you look at these MMA fighters, I mean, I heard Cain Velasquez and DC do spar each other all the time. Yeah. So, and I'm pretty sure it goes either or. I mean, maybe one day DC gets the better of Cain, and Cain gets the better of DC. I'm pretty sure it's like that in every gym. So I think we are playing into too much. If anything, I think we should just listen to Duke Rufus, who said that he saw potential there. Yeah. I'm pretty sure if he would have got killed in his live sparring, I mean, I'm pretty sure it would deflated everybody. Yeah. But yeah, I think just because it's CM Punk, people were kind of overhyped it. Yeah. I mean, I would be more excited when I hear like, Cain Velasquez and DC are going to spar on Tuesday. I'll watch the live stream on that.
Are you surprised that? That's the first time I heard that they actually had a small crowd in there. Like they wanted to emulate a live fight style. Have you heard that before? I've never heard that before. No.
But I have heard fighters that say, "Hey, if you want to come check us." I remember for the longest time when they were talking about Rory Mack and GSP, they were like, "Dude, just come to TriStar. We roll around all the time."
That's kind of cool. So I like that. Maybe it's a new training method that people should,
Yeah, man, I'll gladly pay a ticket to see them. If they're just sparring, I'll watch it.
All right, that's it for the first segment. Coming up, UFC 185. Welcome to the show. We'll talk all about Anthony Pettis and see if he will be the pound-for-pound best fighter after Saturday. So stick around.
Please visit FiveRoundMMA.com on our social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. FiveRoundMMA.com.
Welcome to the show, Albert. Is that what they're picking as UFC 185? Is that the new hashtag? Are they doing with the hashtag time is now?
Yeah, time is now is over. Showtime is now.
All right, so UFC 185, we're talking about that. But first, I want to apologize for my audio in the last segment. If I was a little muffy or sounded far away, but we fixed it now. Hopefully, I sound crystal clear because we are missing Steven Ronzo of Ronzo Records. So when he's not around,
things go.
The amateur's running the show. So UFC 185, Pettis versus Dos Anjos, March 14th at the American Airlines Center, Dallas, Texas, United States. Last I heard of Anthony Pettis, he was the best pound for pound fighter in the world, but I think that went to Ronda Rousey at UFC 184. So Dana White likes to change up whoever's main eventing, right?
It depends who's main eventing, depends who's pound for pound. Because if it's John Jones, he's the pound for pound. If it's Showtime, he's the pound for pound. If it's even Hendon Brow, who isn't the champion, he's pound for pound.
Well, rightfully so. I mean, he is a promoter, right? People forget that. So, your thoughts on Dos Anjos? Kind of came out of nowhere a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all still a little bit shocked over that Benson Henderson knockout. I mean, I always thought Rafael Dos Anjos was a good fighter.
Yeah.
He was an exciting fighter, but nowhere did I see him KOing Benson Henderson.
Yeah.
But to tell you the truth, when I really think about this matchup and I really try to picture him like going at it, almost doing my own UFC,
EA Sports in your mind?
Yeah.
EA, UFC?
Yeah, in my head. I don't see him beating Anthony Pettis, though. I mean, Anthony Pettis, I have a scary thought that he's going to be even better in this fight. And if he stops Dos Anjos in the first round, oh, man.
He might be the most well-rounded fighter in the UFC, you think?
Yeah.
Anthony Pettis, yeah.
If he beats him in the first round in one of his spectacular Showtime finishes, hands down, I'll be the first one to say he's the pound-for-pound champion.
Also, on this card, it's a pretty good card, I think. 2 title defenses. Anthony Pettis defending his lightweight title. Also, Carla Esparza defending her women's Cookie Monster against Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna even try.
Your boy Matt Brown going against Johnny Hendricks. Also, Overeem against Roy Nelson, Sam Stout, Ross Pearson,
and
Derek.
I quit match.
Yeah, our good friend Darren Kirchink is on the card. Also, Anthony Pettis' little brother Sergio Pettis is on the card as well. So it should be a nice card. And also, a favorite here of FiveRoundMMA, former guest Elias Theodore.
Yep,
it's the best hair in MMA.
Yeah, he's gonna make that event pretty good looking.
Makes me mad because they put him on the bottom. I don't like it. He needs to be.
He's pay-per-view quality.
He is pay-per-view quality. Also, at least Fox Sports quality, I think. So I want you to do a new part we're gonna play here for every major pay-per-view. I want you to give me Sunday morning headline, the day after UFC 185. What are all the headlines gonna say? Give me one.
It's gonna be pretty easy. It's gonna be Showtime is now.
The Showtime is now. I like it.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I'm telling you, Anthony Pettis is gonna wow us.
Yeah, I like mine better. The show goes on.
Oh, that's pretty good.
A little corny, but I like it. I think, I just think Anthony Pettis might be the most well-rounded fighter. Definitely with the chance. I think. Obviously, he's known for his striking because he keeps showing the highlights of the Showtime kick. Even though he's only done it once. But his last few fights have all been, submission on the ground tactics. So that's one of the points. They don't even highlight his jiu-jitsu, right?
Yeah.
So I think, most of them, obviously Johnny Hendricks and Matt Brown should be. I'm hoping it might be the show stealer. I'm hoping that Matt Brown is going to entice Hendricks to see the old Hendricks and just get a slobber knocker. Did you want a slobber knocker?
I kind of don't.
You don't?
I kind of want Johnny Hendricks to go in there and do what he does best. 1-2, and it's out.
Yeah, and also Overeem, Roy Nelson is this kind of winner.
Winner stays in UFC, loser goes to Bellator. I'm pretty sure that's the ballot, and they should do the stipulation now.
Yeah, well, we shall see. I think we'll have our picks on our social media pages. So make sure.
Check out that SpectrumVita.com. You can
also
see
as well.
You can see our picks too there.
Until then, make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at FiveRoundMMA. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to us on iTunes, YouTube, Podomac, and always check out the new SpectrumVita.com to where you can see not only our podcast but a bunch of different varies of articles, sports, entertainment, lifestyle magazines. And of course, a big thank you to all of our sponsors: Rocking Green Eco-Friendly Cleaning Products, 5 Rounds Clothing Line, and of course the Redemption Martial Arts, RMA Foundation, the movement to stop bullying. Albert, I think that's it, right? Any final words, parting words for the guests?
Just that if you're not following our sponsors or sign up to their emails, you're missing out because they be sending out some pretty good coupons this last couple of weeks.
Especially Rocking Green stuff. A bunch of stuff you do, like contests, stuff like that. So
you guys are missing out, and that's good stuff. I just thank everybody for listening. Sorry again for the sound. That's what happens when the video guy does the audio. But thanks everybody for listening.